Hi everyone, thanks for joining us. My name is Tim Ramostella and I work here in North America on the sports style merchandising team. I'm joined with
AJ Vanderwood. I'm a product manager on the global sports style team.
And we're going to take you through some of the best stories of GEL-LYTE 5 in 2023. Now this year we're going to celebrate the kickoff of the bring back of the GEL-LYTE 5, taking you through two different chapters of both origin and Japanese craftsmanship. AJ is here to help us talk through each drop because each drop is pretty unique and pretty special in itself. And this actually kicked off a couple years ago from a collab lens when we brought back the Kith GEL-LYTE 5 through some really coveted colorways to help get that attention at the top and reintroduce the GEL-LYTE 5 to our core heritage consumers. This past fall, we did a project with Social Status where we worked directly with the Charlotte Lab School, and AJ will speak to a little bit about his involvement with that. But super excited to bring this silhouette back and share it with you. So we'll start off with our first drop that came in January of this year.
Thank you, Tim. So really kicking things off, we did want to take things all the way back to the origin story of the GEL-LYTE 5 itself. So originally debuting in 1993, this shoe was the fifth iteration of the GEL-LYTE line. That was really created to fuse lightweight running that was trending at the time in Japan with stability running that was a big trend in the US at the time, really creating kind of lightweight stability. So with the fifth iteration, this version was kind of focused on updating with the monotongue construction, which is iconic to this version, along with the Wave Suspension Duo Max, providing that lightweight stability. And the interesting thing about this model is that during this time, there were no two separate functions of design and development. At that time, it was one person. And if that person wasn't particularly adept at design, they had to find other means to pull the shoe together. So the person in charge of this project at the time was Takaoka-san, who currently heads up our performance running division. And during that time, he was much more development-minded. And what he ended up doing was becoming resourceful, went into the trash can and literally pulled out designs that were thrown away from other projects, found out the best pieces that he loved, and really montaged it together to create the product you see before you. Really inspired by that kind of philosophy of no waste and making the best of what you have around you. We wanted to create two versions to launch with to tell that origin story. First version here being the ReMaterial version, which took leftover scraps from the production process, leftover leathers, meshes, etc., and pulled it together to this really unique colorway you see before you, different colors on the left and right foot. Really inspired by that kind of cutting room floor mentality from that original kind of inception point of the shoe. The shoe also features a recycled midsole, where we worked with our ISS team, kind of innovating how to take recycled EVA, blend it into the existing mold. So what you find here is a 20% recycled EVA midsole, really speaking to the sustainability that we're targeting as ASICS. Next up, also carrying the sustainable midsole is the RE collaboration model. So this one is really a retrospective looking at the best of the best that has come from GEL-LYTE 5 over the 30 years that it's been in the market, been loved by consumers. So we looked at some of the top colorways across inline collaborations, and again, brought it together into a really unique take, 30 different colorways spliced into a kind of seamless, but really kind of eye-catching colorway. Again, just telling that story of kind of resourcefulness, pieciness, as you can see how we spliced the upper pattern for this colorway, and really just leaning into that origin story of how the shoe came to be.
Wow, that's incredible, AJ. Thank you for sharing that. He did tell me most of that back when I presented to the sales a couple of years ago, but that was way more than I expected. Now, there's a lot going on this shoe. There's a lot of materials, a lot going on. Now, what if I'm just not this quick? What if I want something a little toned down? We're in February now. I think the next pack that's dropping is Modern Patchwork.
Modern Patchwork would be next up. So that would be this guy right here. So still taking inspiration from that origin story and evolving it into our kind of Japanese heritage. we really started taking inspiration from some things we've done in the past on GEL-LYTE 5. One of those big things is denim. This model has a large history with Okayama denim, kind of an area close to our headquarters in Kobe. But we've been there, done that before. We really wanted to progress it forward, keep it interesting for that core GEL-LYTE 5 consumer. So we really looked to modernize it, splicing in some new materials, taking some inspiration from bomber jackets in particular, some modern things happening on the fashion side. So we have here the denim overlays with a nylon base, giving it that bomber jacket feel, kind of a ribbed collar here with the monotongue construction. And as you can see throughout, details kind of calling back to that bomber jacket inspiration. We also follow that up with a second colorway here with the black. And this one, we used the denim on the base with the black denim here. And wanted to tweak things slightly and brought in this nice tumbled leather in the overlay. Again, playing with materials and really kind of pushing the model forward in this anniversary year.
This one has me, I'm 18 again when I see this. This is nice.
Brings you back, huh?
Awesome. Yeah, so we're now moving into our Japanese history and heritage storytelling, right? So what's our next pack we got? Both those packs, by the way, are currently available on ASICS.com. But in March, we are going to continue that Japanese history and heritage by celebrating spring in Japan. So I think our first drop, we have, first two colors coming later in March. I believe they should be available on the site in the next couple weeks. But we have two planned for March and then a refresh later on in the summer. But quickly just run through some of the materials and color inspiration behind spring in Japan.
No problem. So spring in Japan, with this drop, we really wanted to hit on what kind of our core consumers love about GEL-LYTE 5. That's fresh colorways, fresh color blocking, and really premium materials. So here we went with the premium pigskin nubuck, something you'll typically find on a lot of our collaborations. Got the overlays and then the perfed pigskin nubuck on the underlay. And then we really wanted to lean into that Japanese craftsmanship, Japanese storytelling. So us being in a spring season, really went to a spring in Japan storyline, being influenced by flowers you would see in Japan during spring. So flowers such as the wisteria, the nemophilia, hydrangea, 4 different colorways that came into this model and inspired these different colorways. And then dialed it up with, the leather tiger stripes, 2 sets of laces here, really premium detailing you typically find in collaborations.
Thanks, AJ. That was a lot of information. Like I said, you can scan that QR code for more information. But because you're here with us now and joining us today, you've been entered into a sweepstakes, and hopefully you're the one that can take home a fresh pair of GEL-LYTE 5s this spring. Never know. Good luck.